Morning, Trainiacs. It's just a casual little 2,000 meter swim. Something that came up last week during the Trainiac mini camp where the two first-year triathletes came into town and we worked on their swim, bike, run was specifically in the swim, where I was reminded how first-year new triathletes have such a hard time breathing in the water. So today I'm going to give you 3 steps to fix that. We're gonna get out of here because it's kind of loud, but I'll show you the drills to do. All right, so Trainiacs, there is a 3-step process that any swimmer can use, any triathlete, any noob can use to develop confidence in the water. Get rid of that feeling where you're like, I'm sinking, I'm sinking. 3 steps and 6 drills. 2 drills with each step, 3 steps. Even my Canadian math makes that work out. Step number 1, you want to develop an allergic reaction to not blowing out air when your face is in the water. You want to train your body such that every time your face goes in the water, the second it goes in the water, you are blowing out bubbles until the very second that you stop. You end up holding your breath whatsoever, you're going to build up carbon dioxide. If you don't blow out bubbles hard enough, you're going to end up building up carbon dioxide. You're not actually short of breath, you've got too much carbon dioxide. So to fix that, what we do is we do 2 drills. The first is very simple. You go on the edge of the pool and you put your hands on the edge of the pool. Stand in a shallow end where everything's controlled and you can be confident. Put your face in the water and immediately start blowing bubbles as hard as you can. Do this a whole bunch of times. Do this 5 times, 10 times at the start of a workout so that you reinforce that habit. Once you're able to do that comfortably, you want to do that and build that into not feeling panicked when you start going under the water. So what we do is the same sort of thing, but we go in the deep end and we do what are called sink downs. That's the second drill. That's treading a little bit of water, and then all of a sudden we just take a breath and start blowing it out. Because we are losing the buoyancy in our lungs, we're gonna sink down a fair bit, and you just keep blowing out as long as you're in the water, and you develop comfort with having your body completely submerged in the water. Between those 2 things, you are going to gradually develop basically the reflex that as soon as your face in the water, you blow out. Second thing we want to learn how to do is to disobey gravity in the pool. While 92% of our body weight is displaced when we go into water, there is still that 8% that wants to sink a little bit in the pool. As we sink a little bit, we start panicking, we start breathing a little bit heavier, we start kicking a little bit harder, all using up more oxygen, building up more carbon dioxide, making it harder for us to swim. So what we want to do is we want to learn how to float across the pool, and these 2 drills will help you do that. Number 1, go back to the edge of the pool and you just want to kick your back leg up just slightly. Just learn how to kick those feet off the bottom of the pool, keep blowing out, and learn how to press your chest deep into the water and pull your butt up close to the surface without kicking very hard. What you do then next is you practice the Superman float across the pool. That's where you turn your back to the wall, you kick off, and you just stretch out like a pencil and slide across the water. And what you do is you stay nice and calm and get rid of that reflex to like, oh, I gotta get out. Because once you start tensing up, once you start hyperventilating, you build up carbon dioxide, that tension makes you sink even more, and it makes it harder for you to float across the bottom of the pool effortlessly. Combine number 1, where you're not building up carbon dioxide, with number 2, where you are floating across the surface of the pool really easily, and all of a sudden, you can just lie there. You're set. You ain't going anywhere. You aren't sinking down. You aren't building up carbon dioxide. You aren't feeling short of breath. Then we just have to get the 3rd thing in our mind, and that is to slow the hell down. Way down. And particularly, this means slowing down your kick. Your legs are the biggest muscles in your body, and what a lot of people do is they kick really hard, because they want to get across the pool as quickly as they can so that they can get that full breath so it can be over. But what's going to happen is they're going to kick across the pool, they're going to build up a whole bunch of carbon dioxide by using up all the oxygen that they can, and they're also going to be very tense. And what's happening is as they kick harder, they're using up more oxygen and they're building up tension and sinking even more, and that is against what we want to do, just moving across the pool in a controlled manner. If you look at any Olympic swimmer who's doing just casual, say 110 per 100-yard efforts, they look so smooth, and it barely looks like they are working very hard, because for them they are not working very hard, and that's what we want to do, is not work very hard. So the 2 drills that you need to do for that is, again, go back to the pool edge, and instead of kicking your feet up off the bottom and just leaving them there and using your butt and your core to hold your feet at the pool surface, you want to just kick slightly. Kick your feet off the bottom of the pool, and then just gradually, with a tiny little flutter kick, as light as you can possibly make it, bring your feet up to the surface of the water. Then the final thing that we do is to incorporate all of this. We take that light little flutter kick, we go into a pool lane, we put on some fins, and as lightly as we possibly can, extend one arm, blow bubbles, kick lightly with our feet, and just grab a little bit of oxygen. So blow bubbles, get rid of all that carbon dioxide, kick very lightly, float across the pool easily, grab a breath. And if you've done all of this, by this point, you will not be out of breath. You'll be floating easily across the pool. You will be kicking very lightly, not using up energy and oxygen in your legs. And all of a sudden, swimming becomes very comfortable, very easy. So those drills are a small spattering, basically the start of a swim drill series that we put together at triathlontaren.com/swim drill program that by now I think 6,000 people have gone through, and we get an email every other day from people messaging us saying that it has completely changed their swimming. They're moving easier, they aren't working nearly as hard, but they're enjoying swimming more and going faster. So if you're actually serious about taking up triathlon and you want to go through that entire swim drill series program, it's free. You just go put in your email address and get it. Go to triathlontaren.com/swim drill program. If you aren't into that and you aren't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. And if you are subscribed, you're like a breath of fresh air, pool water air. All right, later, Trainiacs.